Hey, Doc John here, and I am the Entreprofessor. So I'm back. If you watched my last video, I got feedback from a family member that I'm boring and I'm poorly produced. So my channel needs some work, and this is definitely a known quantity from my perspective. So I know that I can't become interesting overnight, so I'll have to work on that for the long term. But in the short term, I can start to work on production. So I shared a little bit about some of the things I'm doing with green screen and some of the things I'm doing to be able to, with like lighting and that kind of thing. But there are a couple things that I know I've really got to work on. First, my webcam is a good quality low end webcam, but probably needs to be upgraded. I have today upgraded my webcam, so I'm going to talk a little bit about what I've done differently, and hopefully, if this video goes well, we'll get a chance to see what kind of difference that makes. So first, let me tell you what I've been using is what's called the Logitech C920, which is a 1080p kind of a high definition camera with a good like dual-sided kind of stereo mic from Logitech. So good quality. It seems to be the gold standard in terms of webcams. They've been used for a number of years. I think they're kind of moving to newer models at this point. I've had it for a number of years, and it's a fine webcam. And I don't know that I necessarily would have been the next thing that I upgraded, except that I would like to have another camera in the mix. To be able to use for a different camera angle, or maybe to like look down if I want to draw something or write something on a page for illustration purposes and that sort of thing. So here's what I got this time. I stayed with Logitech, but I went with the StreamCam. It's relatively new in the last year or so. This particular streaming cam got very good reviews, both for recording video, but also in particular for streaming, for having that higher speed and getting good quality. So we're gonna try to make some changes here. Let me just do a little bit of an unbox on this one. Okay, so when I open the box, it's kind of slick. It's like you open it and the camera's kind of pointing out at you here, just as you pull it open, so you can see it's a sharp-looking camera. What I liked about it is it was cost-wise, it wasn't as expensive as some of the really high-end webcams, but at the same time, it's definitely a level higher than what I've been using up to date. So it kind of comes out here it has like a holder of some sort here. It looks like this holder, and the one thing is it pivots, so you can do like a horizontal view, like you would like a normal, but you can also do like a vertical view. So if you want it to look more like a phone, so that I thought was appealing. I thought that might give me some flexibility later. So I think we're ready to go, ready to try this one out. I'll say I'll see you on the other side. And then once we start it, if it works, we'll hopefully have a much better visual view. And if it doesn't, we'll be back to this camera and we'll just keep going. Okay, so here it is, the Logitech Streaming Cam. I don't know, what do you think? Do I look better? I don't know. I feel like it's a little better. Is it noticeable? I'm not sure. I'll have to decide over time. But I will say it looks very, very cool. Sitting in front of me looks really nice. It just feels like a much better camera. It's just more substantial. So it just feels like it's really well built. The lens is bigger, so I think that gives it a little bit more flexibility. The camera itself also gives me a lot more control, more options in terms of frame rate and things like that, particularly if I'm live streaming during a class or during some kind of a live stream type video. So I think, all to the purpose of the camera. Definitely not the panacea. I still have a lot of production issues to deal with, but I think the camera helps. So I guess we'll see over time, but we'll call this at least tentatively a success. But realize as I'm looking at it visually, I think I've got a little bit sharper image, but I think I still have a lot of work to do with lighting. And undoubtedly sound is the place where I really have some room to upgrade the equipment. One thing I'm noticing as I'm just listening to the playback and kind of watching some of the video with the new camera, I actually don't think I like the sound as well with the microphone on this camera as I did the previous one. So it feels a little tinnier, maybe picking up on more of an echo. So that's something I think is I've actually viewed as something still needed work, but I think this might be a step back even further in terms of sound quality. So that's, I guess, more evidence that I need to start to think about some kind of upgrade to the microphone. Seems like most that do this kind of streaming use a separate microphone or do something different. So I may need to make a change there. So looking forward to feedback. I will put links down below for the equipment itself, for the camera, and some of the other details, and be interested in your thoughts. So let's keep going.